got to plug a couple videos. This is on the We've Read the Documents channel. It's a two-parter. It's called the Progressive Truther Industrial Complex. Autumn Sword is on the first one. He's on both of them. The Jenna Beck lady is on part 2, which came out yesterday. She's interesting. She's apparently a Bernie bot from Orange County. She's got insider info from years ago, a few years ago, apparently piecing together the H.A. Goodmans, the Tim Blacks, the Convo Couches. I am not promoting any type of wackadoo conspiracy theories. I've made this disclaimer before, I'll make it again, that I'm my own person. I feel that whatever the internet is, whatever the medium is, after hundreds of years, I'm not going to go back to the printing press. I'm not going back to ancient Egypt. I'm not going back to Greece and Rome. I'm just saying whatever picked up in the 1800s. I'm thinking Edgar Allan Poe. He seemed to be one of the first to put out publications of a literary quality. That just seems to be where the modern age started. I think all of it's done. I think McLuhan called an end to it. He said content no longer matters, that all we can do is probe. The arrest of Julian Assange signified the end of history. What I'm doing here is simply a negation of what's available for Medium. There's nothing positive to discuss. I don't think so anyway. The only way to be positive is to ignore all the negative. At that point, one becomes the equivalent of a Stepford wife. I made a long audio yesterday, but I somehow botched it. So I'm trying to recreate what I did yesterday. Going through the screenshots. We have a connection between Frank Analysis and Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is the top of the pyramid. He is the branching off from Cenk Uygur. I was attacking Cenk Uygur in Twitter years ago. I was troll busting Nomiki Konst years ago. I was up against Ben Dixon, David Pakman. I was up against all of them. I've always been up against the entirety of rigged internet. Going from the least important screenshots to the more important ones. I was going a different route a couple days ago. Then Autumn Sword told me about his crashing a chat. Jimmy Dore went on a show called The Vanguards. They couldn't be more obvious as fakes. Jimmy Dore had a meltdown. Autumn Sword was asking about the MPP, the Movement for a People's Party. Jimmy Dore went ballistic. He got thrown off his game. He's not that special. He's not that talented. Here we have a frank analysis in the chats. This guy is a nobody. He just showed up last year or this year, very recently. All of these people are replaceable. They have a shelf life. Frank analysis. How can we convince normies about the truth about vaccines? What is up with these people being so sure the vaccines are bad for us? They're so sure we don't need to wear masks. I'm sick of these military shills effing with democracy. I would like to know their real full names, their history. Does anyone know them from high school, from the towns they're from? Can anyone vouch that they were in the military? Who are these people? They don't fool me. Frank analysis should be ridiculed and ignored. I thought himself and Misty were respectable looking when they first show up, but then you watch them a little bit, and then you start to see that their faces are tweaking out, that they're definitely under some sort of influence of drugs. Here we go. This is a miserable bunch. Their second day protesting the fake Assange thing went nowhere. I think they probably paid a person or two off the street $50 to put on a Nico House shirt. I think it's MCSC. I think that stands for Me COINTELPRO, a Sue COINTELPRO. Watch some Nico House. His face is tweaking out. I'm not bashing people on psychiatric pills. I know those can generate a similar outcome. I'm looking at the people who have the swollen cheeks, the twitching eyebrows, and the Diet Coke jaw. That to me represents cocaine abuse. These people are miserable. I think I just said that. So Autumn Sword went into the Vanguard's chat, and he's saying, will Jimmy Dore explain himself and Nick Branna, still pumping the fantasy to their audience that Nina Turner will leave her DNC position and flip to MPP if she wins her election. Right, so these military shows are consistently trying to recreate shticks or rebrand the shticks. So you have fake fights, you have fake conversions, you have the burn bot, H.A. Goodman, flipped into the pro-Trump bot. It was ridiculous. Jimmy Dore is a joke. He's tied to the hip of the MPP. I respect Autumn Sword approaching it from the political angle, and it makes more sense if one listens to Jenna Beck explaining some of the insider stuff. She wrote an article on Convo Couch. There's something about alcohol. It's easy to find. I'm saying that all this is for infotainment purposes only, to keep myself safe. We are all free agents. We're born alone. We die alone. We don't live alone, but in regards to birth and death, I imagine we're all on our own. I don't mean that we're going to die physically alone with no one around us. I'm not getting into that topic. The Roger Waters, I hate using that phrase, Some people use that phrase all the time. I let one slip in. I'm trying to remove the word that from my vocabulary. It seems superfluous, but I'm digressing. So just approach all of this with infotainment purposes only, and one should be fine. He kept at it in the chat. Autumn Sword, he's saying he doesn't know if his wife is the biggest financial donor to the MPP. So this dude, Autumn Sword, is claiming that at some point Jimmy Dore was apparently, or his wife, Steph, was the biggest donor to MPP. I had the MPP Nick Branna pop up in the recommendations for an interview with Chris Hedges. It was boring. It didn't reveal anything. I see them as simply fixtures in a rise and shine medium mythology. JC, just JC. Branna says it's on Dore's show with no pushback. So we can go around and round in circles. We can cross T's and dot the I's. Here's more from Autumn Sword. Jimmy Dore would go out of biz if he didn't have AOC in the squad to cry about. That is 100% true. They went with the force the vote thing, and that ran its course. The ecosystem acts as if there's some type of resistance to the fake Democrats, the fake leftists, but they're just more of the same concept of a fake left. Real leftists do not promote militia groups. I'm sorry, there's a concept called deal breakers. My best cyber sleuthing, my best troll busting usually applies to the I thank you for this type of shtick. They say something stupid, I clip from it, I put up the clip, I document it, and then what I should have said in the past, I should have said, I thank you for this. I should have made I should have made a TV show, an internet TV show titled, I thank you for this. But I didn't, and I'm only allotted 15-minute chunks. I'm moving away from the part 1, the part 2. Seems ridiculous to do it that way. Part 4, part 12 of this exciting series. No, it's all the same. It's like there's no central point in the universe. They can't even define what an atom is. They just keep breaking off into smaller elements. But I'll save that type of language wording for a science show. Here we go. This is it. This is the screenshot saying what the show was. 8,000 views. It's called The Vanguard. They interviewed Jimmy Dore. I took a screenshot of when these guys showed up on YouTube, and it was very recently. If you look at these guys, they're total clowns. They're college dropouts. One guy is a college dropout after half a year, and the other guy decided not to go to college. So where did they go? What were they doing? I'll tell you what it looks like. They look like military shells. Where else are people going to go if they only have a high school diploma? They're going to join the military, or they're not going to end up on the internet in some ecosystem, some rigged medium networking system of COINTELPRO shills. Oh, they have a very similar subscriber count to Slow News Day in the 5,000s, 5.38 thousand. Yeah, that's organic. That just happened because they're so talented. They're so interesting. Their faces don't tweak out. Well, maybe they do. So there's Jimmy Dore and his fancy garden or whatever's going on there. The guy in the top left reminds me of Matthew North. The guy on the right reminds me of a fraternity hazing type guy. The guy on the left seems to be an Aspie, the more sensitive, thoughtful guy, but he gives away the shop at times, nodding excessively for Jimmy Dore as if it's out of a script. This is the show that Autumn Sword blew up in the chats. It can be done. I blew up a show or two myself in the chats. These people are idiots. Either ban us or shut up. No, we're not sock puppets. That's the most ridiculous claim that's starting to circulate. This guy, the spokesman, has his own voice. He went on that We've Read the Documents show. I obviously have my own voice. I'm obviously established as a real human being who can be verified. I already went through that stuff. They destroyed my ego like 10 years ago, so it can't be done again. That thing from the other day, for those who recall myself saying that. So yes, here's these Vanguard people. They get no talent, no discernible skill. There's no reason for why they are now players. It makes no sense at all. And then Jimmy Dore shows up to prop them up further. Here we go. I got some comments. I'm tired of comments getting zapped. One cannot keep track of comments getting zapped. It looks like they're up there, then the next moment it's not. Is someone supposed to keep refreshing screens to make sure comments are remaining? I don't know what's going on with the comments. Brian Aguilar, he did delete his duplicate post. He misspelled your. It should be UR. I don't know if I'm hilarious or I simply have a knack for finding funny screenshots. There's the Laura Dern, that famous crybaby photo of her. And then below, Autumn Sword told me to check out the Vanguards. And that was worth it to do. And I did see that Dore went off the rails. That's true. I like his phrase, or wherever the phrase came up, calling them an ecosystem. It's true. And then they bring in these new people, the Vanguard. Check it out. They joined May 16th, 2020. Yeah, right. That's so organic. They're just so talented. Now they're famous. They get subscribers. I can't even get to 100 subscribers. I've got a few more subscribers lately. I got plugged by We've Read the Documents. I was going a slow but sure route. I got a little bit of a bump from my Hilaria Baldwin video. I've been around for years and years. I don't even need stats anymore. Oh, they're on the vanguard of modern leftist thought and politics. They're nothing. They're nobodies. Come on. They didn't study anything. I'm not trying to be an elitist, but look at them. They're right wing. They're kids. They don't even look left wing. They don't act left wing. I was left wing my whole life. How was Graham Elwood left wing when he was supporting the Afghanistan war and the Iraq war? How is Graham Elwood on the left? It's called lying. It's called the front, a facade.